What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. I want to talk about what's next as undefeated, unified, 3-belt, WBC, WBA, IBF, welterweight world champion, superstar boxer who is widely considered by many to be top 2, if not number 1, definitely top 5 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. In ERROL the True Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. is 28 wins, no losses, no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. As it looks like he's going to take on former unified WBC, WBA, welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, and I want to emphasize former unified world champion, Keith one-time Thurman, 30 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 22 wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'8.5" with a 69-inch arm reach. Keith Thurman unified his WBA title against 2-division world champion Puerto Rican superstar boxer Danny Swift Garcia. That was March of 2017, okay? That was March of 2017 when Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia fought, and Keith Thurman beat Danny Garcia to become the unified WBC, WBA champion. Errol Spence in May of 2017 defeated former IBF welterweight world champion, British superstar boxer Special K. Kell Brook via 11th round stoppage victory to become IBF world champion in his first title opportunity in the UK. Errol Spence then called for a unification bout against Keith Thurman, to which Keith Thurman decided he wasn't interested in unifying against Errol Spence at the time, and any time after that, foreseeable future, because he was letting the fight marinate, according to Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman then was inactive for 2 years. He was stripped of his WBC title because of the inactivity. Keith Thurman came back in January of 2019 against Josito Lopez, which was a tuna fight. Then he fought 8-division world champion, legendary Filipino superstar boxer Manny "Pac-Man" Pacquiao, July of 2019, and he lost his titles to Manny Pacquiao, right? He lost the WBA title. So in that span, Keith Thurman lost both of his belts. But the key word is Keith Thurman, he lost to Manny Pacquiao, okay, July of 2019 via split decision. He lost to Manny Pacquiao. Well, Keith Thurman is doing interviews now, and Keith Thurman is looking to promote and build up this possible showdown as the WBC World Boxing Council President Mauricio Suleiman, board of 32 members, decided that they wanted to do Keith Thurman a favor, okay? As they put it, we owed Keith Thurman this favor to fight Errol Spence and order this fight, because we promised Keith Thurman, when they stripped Keith Thurman of his WBC title, okay, they didn't want to embarrass Keith Thurman. So what they did was they allowed Keith Thurman to relinquish the title, okay? Essentially, quote unquote, put it on hold, right? So they allowed Keith Thurman to do this, right? And Keith Thurman has fought 3 times since 2017. We're going in 2023. 6 years. Keith Thurman fought Josito Lopez, Manny Pacquiao 2019. He then didn't come back till February 5th of this year, where he fought against Mario Barrios, February of this year, and he won. So he's 2-1. And so they did Keith Thurman a favor, as they stated. And Keith Thurman is now saying that he's undefeated until Errol Spence beats him. Then he tried to make an adjustment to what he said, and he's stating that, well, he's not undefeated. He's undefeated when it comes to the WBC belt, because he never lost the WBC belt in the ring. And so Danny Garcia, who Keith Thurman beat for the WBC title, then fought another foe of Keith Thurman in two-time welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, retired future Hall of Fame Showtime Sean Porter. Okay, he then fought Sean Porter. Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman fought for the vacant WBC title. How? I don't know why. Now, Sean Porter, I understood, but why did Danny Garcia fight for that position when he just lost the opportunity? He lost the belt to Keith Thurman. But nonetheless, Sean Porter fought Danny Garcia. Sean Porter beats Danny Garcia for the WBC title. Okay, Sean Porter then goes on to defend the WBC title against now former WBA welterweight world champion Cuban star boxer Yadena Sugas, to which Sean Porter beats Yadena Sugas, and many people thought that Yadena Sugas won the fight and didn't get the nod. Nonetheless, Sean Porter won the fight. September of that year, 2019, Sean Porter defends his WBC title in the unification bout against ERROL Spence. ERROL Spence beats Sean Porter, picks up the WBC title. Now he's the WBC IBF champion, right? He legitimately beat Sean Porter for the belt that Keith Thurman was quote-unquote relinquishing, but he was really stripped. That was just a genuine, a soft way of putting Keith Thurman being stripped, because they didn't want to embarrass Keith Thurman, because there was talks of Keith Thurman having a car accident, elbow surgery, all types of different things as to why Keith Thurman didn't defend his titles and why he wasn't fighting. Okay, nobody truly knew why Keith Thurman wasn't fighting. Okay, and so with that said, the WBC didn't want to embarrass Keith Thurman, so they allowed Keith Thurman to publicly relinquish the title opposed to them stripping him. Okay, and so ERROL Spence legitimately won the WBC title from Sean Porter. Okay, he beat Sean Porter and legitimately won the WBC title, right? And then ERROL Spence, he suffered a horrific car accident just 12 days later, October 10th, right? And then Sean Porter, and then ERROL Spence, he came back with enough time, defended it again against another WBC mandatory, and Danny Garcia again. This just shows you the politics in the sport of boxing. Danny Garcia became the WBC mandatory challenger again. And ERROL Spence beats Danny Garcia, okay? That was December 5th in his comeback fight. He was out the ring for 14 months. Okay, December 5th, he came back. 2020, beat Danny Garcia. Okay, then he suffered the eye injury. He was supposed to legitimately unify the belts against Manny Pacquiao, the man who beat Keith Thurman. So ERROL Spence is fighting the man who Keith Thurman he's legitimately picking up these belts, okay? He's not second hand, right? And so he's supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao. He suffers the eye injury that sees him out the ring again for a year. Manny Pacquiao then goes on to fight Yadena Sugas and gets dominated by Yadena Sugas. Yadena Sugas dominates Manny Pacquiao, wins the WBA title. Yadena Sugas goes into a unification bout this year, April 16th, Arlington, Texas, AT&T, Dallas Cowboys Stadium, against Yadena Sugas. He stops Yadena Sugas in the 10th round to become the 3-belt holder, right? In the meantime, Keith Thurman has fought Mario Barrios, who was a junior welterweight, 140-pound WBA regular champion that lost to a super featherweight in Gervonta Tank Davis, who moved up from 130 after fighting 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Leo Santa Cruz. At 130, Gervonta Tank Davis goes up from 130 to 140, 10 pounds, 2 weight classes, knocks out Mario Barrios, drops him 3 times and gets a 11th round knockout victory. Keith Thurman fights Mario Barrios as Mario Barrios decides he's going to go up to welterweight. His very next fight is at welterweight against Keith Thurman at 147. So he moves up 7 pounds, fights Keith Thurman. And he hurts Keith Thurman 2 or 3 times in the fight. And Keith Thurman looks vulnerable. Now, Keith Thurman, to his credit and to his defense, was dominating Mario Barrios, as he should. Keith Thurman wasn't doing nothing against Mario Barrios that he should not have been doing. He's supposed to dominate Mario Barrios. He was supposed to dominate Mario Barrios. So he did what he was supposed to do. Dominate Mario Barrios, right? And he looked vulnerable. He looked rusty. He got hurt to the body again. He was hurt badly against Josito Lopez. He was hurt badly against Manny Pacquiao. And then he was hurt badly against Mario Barrios. And after the fight, Keith Thurman even stated that if Mario Barrios was a better athlete and had a higher ring IQ, he may have put him down and possibly even stopped him, is what Keith Thurman stated. So he, acknowledged that he was badly hurt by Mario Barrios, right? And so Keith Thurman still have been inactive since then, once again. So Keith Thurman has a favor. The WBC said they owed Keith Thurman a favor to order this fight. As Keith Thurman stated, he was plan B if Errol Spence didn't fight the biggest fight in boxing against what is to perceived as his biggest rival in Terrence Bud Crawford for Undisputed, that he was plan B. And it's showing that he was plan B, right? And so now Keith Thurman, right, is saying he's undefeated until Errol Spence beats him. If you could beat me, beat me. This is what he's saying. So let's see. It looks like February 11th, we're going to get Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence. Let's see how it unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.